Hey there guys, so after watching Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I thought it'd be fun to go back and rewatch all the Shrek movies and rank them all. Coming at last place is everyone's least favourite Shrek the Third. Now I wouldn't call this a car crash of a movie, but it feels so cheap. I mean, it feels like a direct DVD sequel. I mean, it just feels so tacked on to Shrek 2. I mean, on paper it had some really cool ideas like Shrek becoming a father, he's next in line to become king, but when it came down to the execution, it feels off. Everything from the timing, the pacing, using Prince Charming as a main villain, it's just a misfire. I wasn't a fan of King Arthur or Merlin. Apart from a few gags, the rest of the jokes are not funny or just cringe. And number 5 is Shrek Forever After. I really wanted to like this one, and it's certainly better than Shrek the Third, but it's just so meh. I mean, it is a solid conclusion to Shrek, and Rumpelstiltskin is an entertaining villain to watch, and I'm a big fan of what-if stories, so Shrek losing the day he was born and how that affects the characters and the world is interesting, and I wish they did more with that. But I just don't think Shrek Forever After is funny or fun compared to other films on this list. And number 4 is the first Puss in Boots movie. This is an oddball for me because I do think there's enough entertainment in this movie. It's still forgettable. I like the fact it was trying to give us a much more focused story. It differentiates itself from the Shrek movies by switching the humour, getting rid of the cheesy soundtrack and the pop culture references. But I do think not everything in this movie works. Humpty Dumpty is a questionable villain. I wish they did different things with that character. And the third act is just rushed. And number 3 is the latest addition to the franchise, Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. One of the most surprising films of 2022 is a standalone sequel that has a new creative team backing it up. And it allows The Last Wish to be a much more all-rounded film compared to my last 3 films. And it has fresh new animation that has similar beats to Into the Spider-Verse. The way it transitions scenes is just beautiful. It has striking anime-influenced action sequences. The story this time is simple, but it's much more focused, whilst at the same time you got Puss dealing with his legacy and facing death. You have 3 different villain factions, and the big bad wolf is just the embodiment of death. And not only do I think he's the best villain out of the 3, I think he's one of the best villains to come out of DreamWorks. And number 2 is the one that started all, and that's Shrek. I have a lot of nostalgia for this one because this is the one out of all these films I saw in cinema back in 2001. This is such a Sunday chill out movie I could just watch and shut my brain off. I mean, I love the fact it takes all these fairy tales and turns it on its head, and because of it, it tells its own fairy tale. And yes, the animation is dated and the soundtrack is cheesy, which I love. I mean, it's funny, it's witty, it's edgy. It's an animated movie that broke boundaries not just for kids but for adults. It's so quotable with its adult jokes. So my favourite, of course, is Shrek 2. Not only do I think it's the best Shrek movie in the franchise, but it's one of my favourite animated films of all time, like top 10. It's everything a sequel should be, like evolving its characters, expanding on the world, and taking the theme of the first movie and diving in deeper. The energy of this movie is just so fun and chaotic. The pop culture references are just so funny, and I love the new additions like Fiona's parents, Puss in Boots, and Fairy Godmother is easily the best villain of this franchise. Shrek becoming human adds a new dynamic to the movie, but also I think it's one of the smartest decisions that this franchise has done. I think it has some really good character arcs, but also Incidentally in Love by Counting Crows is easily the best song to come out of this franchise. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share and subscribe. Let me know, where would you rank all the Shrek movies? Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I got your back.